Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jamise McPherson, and today's video is going to be a video full of makeup products that I have been absolutely in love with. So if you want to see what those products are, then just keep on watching. Jumping right into primers, my two favorite primers right now that I have been obsessed with is the Power Grip Primer by e.l.f. and the KVD primer. Now, one thing I can say about the e.l.f., it's really good and it's super affordable. The e.l.f. is only $10. The KVD primer is $34. So it's a big difference, but they're still really good. This is a really good dupe for the Milk Hydro Grip primer. I think I'm pronouncing that right. A really good primer. This Power Grip, you guys, before I found out about the KVD, this e.l.f. Power Grip literally makes my foundation stay in place all day freaking long. People do not like how this is like sticky and tacky, but I like that. And now to the KVD primer, this is kind of like a sheer finish, so it's not bad, but like sometimes I want to feel that the product is actually there. So between these two, I don't have a favorite. I just like them both. So make sure you guys check these out. You can get the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer at Ulta, on ultabeauty.com, elf.com. You can get the KVD Beauty Primer, I think at Sephora, I'm not sure, but if not, kvdbeauty.com. Next up, we're jumping into foundations, and I have 4 foundations here. I can't decide what my top 2 are, so I'm just going to show you all 4 that I've been loving. And I have oily skin, so I can only recommend products that are good for oily skin. First up is the KVD Good Apple Serum Foundation. This is in the shade Tan 072, and I was a little skeptical at first. I was, and I'm going to put a clip up right here of me actually trying out this foundation for the first time. I was skeptical, okay? I was like, this is not my shade, but it all came together. And one thing I like is it came with this, I don't know what you would call this, like it's not a powder puff because you don't use it for powder, you use it for foundation. This foundation works best with this like little foundation liquid sponge. I tried to blend out my foundation with a brush and a sponge using this, and it just did not give me the same effect. This foundation is super duper duper full coverage. Foundation is $42 at Sephora and kvdbeauty.com. If you're on the hunt for an affordable foundation that is great for oily skin and you don't want to spend a lot of money, I highly recommend the Maybelline Superstay Foundation. I'm in the shade 360 Mocha. This foundation is only $13, you guys. You cannot beat this. This foundation is super full coverage. I have hyperpigmentation, dark spots, so I don't want any of those to peek through, and this is really good. The only thing I can say about this, when I use it, it does come off a little orange, just a little bit, but it oxidizes, so I'm not really too worried about that, because like once I use concealer and I set, it just brings it all in together. So definitely check this out. You can get this at Walmart, Ulta, any drugstore you can find. You can get this. If you have oily skin and you do not want to break the bank, get this foundation. Next up, I have my Estee Lauder Foundation Double Wear. This is in the shade 6W2 Nutmeg. Foundation is very pricey, okay? This foundation is $48, basically $50. Now, $50 for a foundation is a lot. I don't wear this as much anymore, only because it's so expensive, so I only kind of wear it on special occasions. Foundation is a medium to full coverage, and there is a lot of shade ranges. I would highly recommend though, if you do not know your shade range for a foundation that you want to try out, definitely go to Sephora, ask them, can you get some samples of some foundations, and play around with the foundation before you actually go in and commit and buy the foundation. That's what I used to do, and I still do it. Make sure you guys get samples of this, because it did take me a little minute to actually figure out what my shade was. Overall, this is a good, beautiful foundation. It's not cakey. It just looks like skin, but it still gives you that full coverage look. Next, we have our NARS Soft Matte Foundation. So before I tried any of these foundations, I would only use my NARS Soft Matte Foundation, and by the way, I'm in the shade Medium Deep 5 Marquise. I swore by this foundation. I didn't use anything else but NARS Soft Matte. The shade literally matches me to a T. Our Soft Matte Foundation is true to color, and I will never stop using my NARS Soft Matte. I swear by this foundation. This foundation is $42. You can get it from Sephora.com or NARS.com. We're jumping right into concealers. Too Faced Born This Way Concealer. Girl, you guys know in most of my videos, this is probably one of the only concealers that I always use, and I know it's never gonna do me wrong. She never does me wrong. I use the shade Butterscotch and Mocha. Butterscotch just gives me like that highlight look. Mocha just gives me like a more subtle look, and a lot of the times I want a highlight look. So that's why I go in with Butterscotch. This is a full coverage foundation, okay? If you want to hide, cover up those dark spots, okay, you need to be trying Too Faced Born This Way Concealer. It's $34. You can get it from Ulta Beauty, Sephora, or TooFaced.com. Next up, we have the Sephora Best Skin Ever Concealer. I actually just got this over the weekend because I've heard great things about it. I'm using the shade 35N. But I'm gonna be real with you guys. I picked this concealer back today only because I do not like the shade I picked. So I think I might do maybe 2 shades lighter or a shade lighter. I don't know, I gotta, check it out. But I do love this concealer. It's full coverage. It's so good, and it's affordable, y'all. This concealer is $15. You can get this from Sephora or Sephora.com. If you do not want to break the bank with concealer, but you still want that snatch look, you still want to cover up your bags, under your eyes, this Milani concealer is so good. Like, it eats. It literally eats the girls up every time. The shade I use is 155 Cool Tan, and y'all, this is only $10. This is $10 with my Too Faced Born This Way concealer. For $10, you cannot beat that. Now, one thing I do not like is I feel like the shade ranges aren't wide. I'm not really sure how many shades they have, but I know when I go to Walmart to re-up, I don't really see that many shades. But again, it is super good, super full coverage, and affordable. So make sure you guys check out the Milani concealer. I'm loving the Maybelline Loose Finishing Powder. I use the shade Medium Deep 30. We don't talk about this product, okay? So a little bit goes a long way. I don't use this to bake, I just use this to set. Now, I did realize, use this powder to bake, I had a hard time blending it out, and that's when I realized this is great to actually set. So I go in and I set my face, well, I set everywhere I put concealer with this powder, and then I go in with a baking powder. Again, this is really good. It's only $8.49 at Ulta Beauty. You can get it at Target, any drugstore, Walmart, Maybelline.com. So again, this is super affordable, and check it out. Now, after I'm done baking, I always go in with my Huda Beauty baking powder in the shade Blondie. Oh my God. If this is, oh my God, I don't even know how to put this into words. I love this powder. Huda, you really did something when you came up with this formula, because it's so freaking good. I don't have any words, okay? If you tried it, you already know. If you have it, you love it, you already know. No words, but just make sure you have this, okay? Make sure you have this in your makeup collection, in your kit. Make sure you have it. Also, the Huda Beauty powder is $38. Drum roll, please. This next product, you guys, eats the girlies up every time. Product is my Sephora Micro Smooth Powder. Like, I'm in the shade 65 Toffee. It is $20 at Sephora and Sephora.com. I don't even know where to begin with this powder. So how I like to use this powder for me personally, on baking, I go in with a brush and I basically, you know, swivel the brush in here and I wipe off the powder. and it just melts everything in place. As you can see, I have 3 because every time I go to Ulta, if they have my shade, I have to get it because the girlies be having my shade sold out, okay? And all I'm gonna say is you need this. You need this, okay? If you don't get anything out of all the products I told you, you need this. I literally rave about this all the time on TikTok Live, when I'm just talking to somebody in person about makeup, on Instagram, Facebook. The shade 65 Toffee, and I love this. I love this powder so freaking much, you guys. Like, oh, so good. Next up is my Makeup Revolution Super Fix Spray. So a lot of powders, your face is gonna always look very powdery. So to fix that, really spray my whole face with this. Oily skin. Now, if you have dry skin, I do not recommend this product. Again, everything I've recommended is for oily skin. This retails for $15 at Ulta Beauty. Definitely check out this product. Next, we have my favorite lashes right now. These are the I Envy 3D collection lashes in the shade 01. I picked these up from my local beauty supply store for about $3.99. Every time I go to the beauty supply store, I always have to pick me up a pair. Even if I have 30 pair, I still pick up a pair and add it to my collection. I love a very fun, flirty, wispy lash, and these do it every time, okay? And let me put y'all onto something real quick. When you are applying lashes, make sure you cut your lashes and make sure you're curling your lashes, okay? Girls, your lashes should not be stopping way out here. Does your eye stop there? No, it does not. So you know what that means? You need to cut your lashes, okay? If your lashes are just straight out, okay, how can we see the style of the lash? So you know what that means? You need to curl your lash. So check out your local beauty supply store for these lashes. Next up is my Sephora lip liner in the shade Molasses number 17. One of my friends put me on to this lip liner to go, and I fell in love. This liner is super creamy. You can get it from Sephora.com. It was only, I believe, $12. And again, every time I go to Sephora, I always pick up an extra one. It's the perfect like dark shade without looking too brown. And it lasts literally all day long, okay? All day long. I've also been loving the Supergroup matte sunscreen. So all the sunscreens I've used have been like very oily looking and just making my face look super greasy on top of my oily skin, and that just doesn't make any sense to me. So I picked this up from Sephora. I got the mini bottle because, you know, sometimes I don't want to pay full price, and guess what? That's okay. So I got the mini size for $20. So far, I love this. I've heard nothing but great things. Third day using this product, and so far, so good. I love it, and it's matte, so can't beat that. I've been loving this Fenty Beauty Soft Matte Powder Foundation in the shade 390. When I got my makeup done from a makeup artist about a year ago, after she finished my face, she set everywhere she put concealer with this powder, and it just gave me an airbrushed look. And actually, I'm gonna apply this for you guys just so you can see. So hopefully you can kind of see what my face looks like now. And I just go in with a brush, and I just tap the product and press it in everywhere I put my concealer. And it just gives it like that golden airbrushed look. Like, look at that. So good. Fenty powder retails for $40, and you can get it from Ulta Beauty, Sephora, or FentyBeauty.com. I hope you guys try out some of the products that I've talked about in the video. If you have tried any of these products or you have them, leave in the comments down below how do you like them. Everything I have mentioned will be listed down below in my description box. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.